everybody? Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. In a previous video of mine, my this or that video, and potentially in another one, I think maybe one of my intuition videos, I did a similar exercise where I asked you to assign essentially names, personalities, numbers, weekdays, whatever, to colors, to one another, And one of you in the comment section mentioned synesthesia, which is when your perceptions get jumbled together. And it's some sort of condition that some people have, right, but a lot of people still have synesthetic traits. Like, plenty of us have heard that debate where you pick a school subject and then you say which color each one is. A lot of people are like, oh, math is this, science is this, that sort of thing. So it's along those lines, okay? Us non-synesthesia having folks can still have our fun with this sort of exercise. By the way, there's nothing on your screen. There is a little nail on the wall. Anyway, so I've prepared some exercises for us. No, I will not be diagnosing you with anything today, nor am I super educated on synesthesia myself, but I did actually read a Wikipedia article about it. So without further ado, let's do some little fun brain games, okay? So a lot of it in this video, we're going to focus on color. Okay? So first, I have with me here my iPad. And we've got here a picture of the color wheel. The color wheel. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me for each day of the week, which of these colors would you associate it with the most? Okay? So for example, for me, Tuesday is right there. That's Tuesday for me. I don't want to influence your decisions, but which one of these colors is Monday to you? Okay. And now, which one of them is Tuesday? Okay, great. Now what about Wednesday? Okay, very good. And now how about Thursday? And Friday? Saturday? And finally, Sunday. Very good. Okay, very good. Let me jot down your answers here real quick. And by the end, depending on how difficult this was for you, maybe certain exercises felt very easy, maybe others not so much. And maybe you'll find that one of them shows you, hey, maybe I do have synesthesia of some kind. Because there's different mixes of senses and perceptions that one can have. Okay, now we're going to try mixing letters with colors, okay? So, here is, believe it or not, the letter A. Okay, A in a vibrant blue. But as you can see, I have A for you in 3 different colors. Alright? Now, maybe you feel extremely neutral about this, but don't think too hard on it, okay? Which of these seems the most correct to you? Which of these colors matches best with the A? Okay, very good. Alright. Okay, and what about these three B's? Which one of these B's, I'm so sorry about the reflection, is the proper color? This, that, or this? Okay, very, very good. Next, we have the letter L. In a yellow, a blue, and a purple. Which of these is best suited to the letter L? Does this one look the best for you? Are you drawn to this one, maybe? Or this one? Okay, very good. And lastly, the letter C. The letter C, we have it in a light springtime green, a yellow, and a pinky pink. What do we think? Which of these C's is the correct color? All right. Interesting. See, I don't feel super strongly about colors, and letters. But for C, I think it would be the pink one. L would be the blue. B would be maybe this one here, maybe the orange. And A would be red. Obviously. I think for me with letters, I can like assign letters like maybe a gender and like a personality, but that's not synesthesia. That's more of just like having an imagination. All right. Very good. Very nicely done. All right. Now, instead of shoving a shiny iPad in your face, y'all know I love my paint samples. And you know what? I went to the hardware store just for you to steal some more paint samples. I mean, it's not stealing, they're free, but alright, we've got some lovely colors here. I'm very fond of these. I think these are like the 2025 trending colors or whatever. Well, these colors are always trending in my soul. Okay. But I want you to look at these colors. Okay? Then I'm going to give you a number, and I want you to match that number to whichever color I'm showing you here you think best matches it. Okay. Which of these colors would you associate with the number 7? Okay, very interesting. And how about the number 3? Which of these colors, these beautiful colors, would go nicely with the color, the color 3, the number 3? All right, very nice. So, this next exercise is honestly the most entertaining one for me, pour moi, because it's one that I actually can kind of like do myself. Holy crap. I did not realize how enormous this booklet was. What the helly? Okay. Let's just keep things simple and start with this first one, which is like these shades of red and pink. Okay, red and pink. I'm going to give you a name. Okay, a name. And for the name I tell you, I want you to match it with whatever shade you think best suits it. Does that make sense? If there are some of y'all that totally don't relate to this, to assigning letters, their colors, assigning numbers, colors, assigning colors to names, etc., then I'm sorry, this may be kind of boring for you, but I think it's a fun exercise. Just use your imagination. Alright, so for the name Helen, which of these shades would be named Helen? Okay. Which of these shades would be named Mara? I'm sorry if I was cutting it off before. I apologize. I'm realizing now. Now, what about the name Renee? Okay, interesting. Now, let's do it the other way around, okay? Why don't I point out one of these colors and you will give me a name. You can name it. I love naming things. I should try to find a way to make a whole video out of that. If you've been here for a while, you know my first video to blow up was my If I Say Your Name video. That was a big one for me. And that was fun because I got to work with names a lot, but I did so many of those. It was getting old, so I want to do something else with names though. Anyway, let me pick a color. What about this one? Right here. If this color had a human name, what would it be called? What would he or she be called? Oh wait, okay. Let me write this down. Okay. And what about this one right here? That one. What would he, she, they be called? What color was a person if the color had a female or a human name, not a female name? Okay, very good. Let me go to a different page. Change things up again a bit. These are all, I cannot speak. These are all warm tones. Oh, I might be getting a cold. Alright, let's do this one here. If you had to name this color right here, that little color had a name, what would it be named? Okay. And what about that one right there? This color was a person. What would it be named? Okay, great. Now, let's do it the other way around once again, but with these colors this time, okay? Which of these might be named Walter? Okay. What about Christina? Which of these colors could be named Christina? Okay, very nice. Now why don't we do the same with this? If one of these colors was named Maria, which one of them would be Maria? Maria. Okay. And if one of them was named Clark. Where's Clark? Show me which one is Clark. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Now, different exercise. Which of these colors do you feel represents you, your spirit, your aura, your personality best? Which one do you identify with the most? Okay, wonderful. Okay, very good. Now let's revisit this one. Which of these do you identify with the most? Okay, a long time ago, before this channel was even really a thing, I made a video reading off the names of all of my nail polishes, because those are always so fun. And I feel similarly about the paint colors. Dainty Lace, Beehive, Urban Nature, Nocturne Blue, Dragonfly. Like, whose job is it to name these? I need that to be my job. Okay, now I've got these post-it sticky dab. Let me just pull one off for the ASMR. Not the best. Okay. I would like you to assign these sticky note colors, these post-it colors, to different subjects. So take a look at these stickies, and I want you to tell me which of them would you assign to science class. If you could use these tabs for different subjects at school, which one would be best suited to using for science? Alright. Now what about for math? Maths. Arithmetic. Mathematique. Which one? Alright. Now what about language arts? Oops. Language arts, like reading and writing. Depending on where you live, that class might be called different things. It might be separated into different classes. Kind of depends, but you get the gist. For me, that's kind of the only like obvious one. I feel like that would be blue all the way for me. Blue. The other ones, because traditionally when this question gets asked, it's in regards to notebooks, and then usually it's like, I think math is red. I think science is like purple or green. But it's always going to be blue. It's always going to be blue for English for me. What even are the other subjects? Damn, it's been too long. Science, math, language arts. What are the other core subjects? Okay. History. History class. History. Which one? Okay. Interesting. It's always so interesting to me what things are cultural, what things are international and such. Like, I bet you that it's way more common in other countries for a particular subject to have a particular color assigned to it, and it might just be a no-brainer. because that's how we come to form these sort of associations, you know? Kind of interesting. Like, this is super random, but I was thinking about school supplies, and like, I don't know who else it extends to, but I know it's Americans for sure. What color do you think of when you think of an eraser? Oh, a rubber. Because to me, it's gonna be pink. It's gonna be pink, because I think of a pencil. And if I have a standalone eraser, it's gonna be pink too. But in a lot of other countries, the most popular brands of eraser that they use as school supplies are white. So they may not think, maybe they think of it on the end of a pencil. I'm not sure. But I was learning that the other day. Okay. Now, school aside, which one of these do you like the best? If I told you could only have one color of sticky tab, which one are you drawn to? Which one resonates with you the most? See, for me, I like the pink. But I think I'd have to go the classic yellow. Classic yellow post-it note. So let's move away from the colors. For a minute. And let's talk numbers, okay? I don't have a sheet with a bunch of numbers on it, so I'm just going to use these sticky notes. Okay. So, think of the number. Wow, that was poorly written because there's paint on the end of my pencil. You can't even see that. Think of the number 3. Maybe I'll stick a freaking text up on the screen of the number 3. Think of the number 3. Now I want you to tell me, when you imagine 3, give it some human qualities, okay? Would the number 3 be male or female? Male or female, For me, 3 is so androgynous. I don't know. I really couldn't give it one. I really couldn't give it a gender. And as for its age, can you give the number 3 an age? I mean, there's an obvious answer here, but some of us, have it different in our heads. Okay. If 3 was an age, obviously I want to say 3. It'd be 3 years old, but I'm thinking like 3 is a 12-year-old, right? Does anyone else get that sense? 3 is like a whimsical little 12-year-old. Whimsical. A curious little 12-year-old. Okay. What about the number? Oh yeah, that was good. Let's take it up a notch. The number, I bet you can't guess. Let me scribble it real good so you can see it for like not at all satisfying. I apologize the way this is going to be written. 4. What about the number 4? Does 4 have a gender to you? Is it male, female, or some sort of androgynous? It just doesn't go in either direction for you. Okay. Can you assign 4 an age, or at least an age range? And are there any personality traits you could assign to the human embodiment of the number 4? Interesting. See, I feel like there had to have been something on Tumblr where they like made illustrations. Who am I? Drawings of numbers as people, because that was the shit we loved to do back then. You know what I mean? Just like personifying everything and making it into some quirky little diverse cast. Anyway, 4 for me is gotta be like a late 30s woman. And I feel like she is very high strung. Very, very Wound, tightly wound, tightly wound. Alright. And see, what's interesting is some of you probably feel like the literal opposite. And then there's those of you that are like, what the actual fuck are you talking about? Alright. Now let me think of a different number, and I promise it won't be 5. Alright, let's do the number. Get ready for this. Holy crap. It's a double digit. 17. How? Wait, which one do I start with? Gender. Is 17 man, woman, girl, boy, androgynous? You know, somewhere in between, somewhere outside. Okay. And what age is 17? How old is the number 17 if 17 were a person? And if you could assign them a personality trait, what would it be? Okay, I think 17 for me. I think 17 would be 17. 17 would be 17. And I think would be a girl, a 17-year-old girl. And I think she would be very, I don't know, I can't think of a personality for this girl. I'm trying to connect with this character I'm inventing right now. I think she would be very chatty. If I had to pick one thing to describe about her, she'd be very chatty. Alrighty. Wait. So, I'm not gonna stretch this one too long. Believe it or not, I've been filming for a really long fucking time, but it's gonna get cut the freak down because, first of all, my neighbors were making a lot of noise. Second of all, it just takes me forever to film, guys. Okay. But, if this was something you liked, I was just dipping my toes into this concept, and if you really rocked with it, maybe I can make a follow-up. That's always an option. So, I love you guys very much. I'm I'm setting a soft goal so that I don't get disappointed if I don't meet it. I'm trying-ish to get to 100k subscribers by the end of the year. And I am filming this in October of 2025. So, I'm currently at like 93k or 94k, something like that. So, if you wouldn't mind, especially if you watched all the way to the end, like, you and I were already committed. Like, you just spend so much time watching me talk. You might as well just hit that subscribe button and see what else I have to offer. Because guess what? My content is 100% free. It costs nothing. You can watch any of my videos for free. So yeah. For the unbelievable price of free $99, you can hit that subscribe button and see more of me in your feed. Okay. Anyway, guys, I love you very much. I love you very much. If you got to the end, leave me an animal emoji. Whoa, hair looks weird. An animal emoji in your comment as our secret signal to know you are a got to the ender. Okay. Hope you guys have a great week. And if you can't have a great week, I hope one great thing happens to